Hello, my beautiful and powerful Scorpio souls, and welcome back to the Mystic Astrozen. I want you to come close, to tune out the noise of the world for just a moment, and listen with the deepest part of your being. Can you do that for me? Because today, we are not just talking about astrology. We are speaking directly to your soul, to that ancient, wise, and all-knowing part of you that sees beyond the veil. I need you to remember a moment recent or distant, when you heard a knock, either literal or felt in your spirit. A knock that stopped you. A knock that made the air feel heavier, made your intuition whisper louder, made your heart race without reason. This is not a metaphor. This is an echo from the universe itself. A tall man, yes. Tall appears not just in dreams, not just in visions, but in the energetic world around you. Some of you have seen him. Some of you have felt his shadow move beside your path. And some of you are about to. Who is he? Why now? Why your door? What was he carrying? And why did he leave so quickly, yet leave everything changed? Scorpio, the universe is calling on you today to listen not just with your ears, but with your spirit. If your soul feels stirred by this already, don't just watch in silence. Stay with us, because the messages you've been waiting for, they often arrive quietly, through signs like this. Subscribe now, not just with your finger, but with intention. This space was created for souls like yours, deep, intuitive, transforming. And if you've ever felt like you were walking this path alone, you're not. You are guided here. Welcome home, Scorpio. What if the knock wasn't on your front door, but on your soul? You are being prepared for something. And it begins the moment you decide to believe that nothing is random, not even this message. Let's go deeper. In many mystical traditions across cultures, a tall man often symbolizes more than just physical stature. He represents elevation of spirit, of truth, of presence. Height in the spiritual realm carries the vibration of higher authority, divine, messengers, and beings who operate on a different frequency. When a tall man appears in your reality, whether through dreams, visions, or chance encounters, it's not simply about the figure you see. It's about what he embodies. For Scorpio, whose soul journey is about diving into the hidden and transforming darkness into power, the tall man becomes a powerful archetype. He is the bridge between what is seen and what is sacred. He may arrive in silence, but his presence speaks volumes, awakening questions, memories, even fears. In dream analysis, tall men are often associated with guidance or hidden truth messages. We are ready to receive, but may have resisted. His towering figure could also reflect how far you've come, or how far you're meant to rise. Sometimes, Scorpio, we are visited by what we are becoming, and that can be unsettling. Was he intimidating? Calm? Silent? What did you feel in his presence? That feeling is the message. It may not be his words, but the energy that stirred in your chest. Some spiritual texts describe tall beings as watchers sent to witness key turning points in our evolution. Could it be that this figure arrived because your soul is crossing a threshold? You are shedding an old identity and standing on the edge of a new life. The tall man may also represent your higher self in symbolic form, showing up to remind you of the power you carry, the truth you've forgotten, the path you're about to step into. He's not here to save you. He's here to show you that you were never small to begin with. Scorpio, you've always known before others. You feel things in your bones, in your blood, in the silent chambers of your soul. When the universe stirs, You don't need someone to tell you, because your entire being already knows. That's the truth about your sign. While others search for signs, you absorb them. You feel the knock long before it happens. You sense the ripple in the energetic field. You dream about events days before they unfold. You feel the shift in someone's energy, even if they smile in your face. And when a tall man shows up, whether physically or symbolically, it's not random. You've already sensed him coming. Maybe it was in a dream that lingered far too long in your mind. Maybe it was a strange shadow you couldn't quite place. Maybe it was a deep emotional stirring at midnight you couldn't explain. That's how the universe speaks to you. Not with loud sounds, but with vibrations, with inner earthquakes, with emotional echoes. Because Scorpio is ruled by Pluto, planet of death, rebirth, and transformation. And Pluto doesn't knock loudly. He whispers to your spirit until you listen. That tall man is a trigger, a mirror, a messenger. And only someone with your depth can understand what he truly means. Others may have dismissed him, feared him, or not even noticed, but you felt the shift. You felt the gravity of his arrival. You may not know why he came yet, but you know it changed something. Trust that. You are not imagining it. You are being called. Called to rise. Called to remember. Called to align. Your soul is vibrating at a frequency that attracts messages most people miss, and the universe knows it. That's why you were chosen to feel this first. Not because it's easy, but because you are capable. Because your soul is wired to decode what others ignore. So if you felt something stirring, if the knock still echoes inside you, don't push it away. This is your sign. This is your time. When the universe knocks, Scorpio opens the door before it even arrives. Scorpio, timing is never random when it comes to you. Everything in your life happens with deep spiritual precision, even if it first feels like chaos. So why now? Why does this tall man appear at this specific point in your soul's journey? The answer lies in divine alignment. Right now, the cosmos is activating something ancient within you. Maybe Pluto, your ruling planet, is making a powerful aspect in your birth chart. Maybe there's a full moon touching your 8th house of transformation. Or maybe, energetically, your soul has reached a point where it can no longer ignore its own calling. This knock, this visitation, comes at a threshold moment. You've outgrown something. An identity, a belief, a dynamic, a wound. And before you can fully evolve into your next chapter, the universe has to deliver a message you've been spiritually avoiding. The tall man didn't come to harm you. He came to awaken you. Think of him as a symbol of intervention, a divine interruption. He shows up because the timeline is shifting. Something is coming that you must be ready for, something that will require your full presence, your intuition, your transformation. That's why the knock is loud now. Because the silence before it is stretched too long. And the universe never lets you miss what's meant for your soul's evolution. This moment is a checkpoint. It may feel eerie, uncertain, or even emotionally intense, but it's sacred. You're being invited to slow down and listen more deeply than you ever have. Look around your life right now. What's cracking? What's repeating? What's whispering? This knock didn't come out of nowhere. It came as a mirror to your inner world. You've been asking for clarity. You've been praying for confirmation. And here it is, in a form you didn't expect, but one your soul will recognize. Why now? Because you're ready. Not comfortable, Not confident, but ready. And when Scorpio is ready, the whole universe rearranges to support your rise. After he left, whether in a dream, a vision, or through an unexplainable encounter, something shifted. Maybe he didn't speak. Maybe he just stood in silence, radiating a presence you couldn't forget. But when the door closed behind him, something stayed. A question. A sensation. A memory that wasn't yours, but somehow lived inside you. This is the moment to ask, what did he leave behind? It might not be an object you can hold. It might be a vibration, an invisible thread pulling at your awareness. Maybe since then, certain numbers have followed you. Maybe you keep hearing the same song. Maybe you suddenly feel the urge to end something toxic or begin something bold. That is the message. It may not come in a clear sentence, but Scorpio doesn't need clarity. In words, you speak the language of energy, and energy never lies. Perhaps he left behind a decision you now feel ready to make, or a truth that suddenly surfaced, or a haunting peace that lingers in your chest, reminding you that you're not alone. Look at your emotional landscape since that moment. What has risen? What has fallen away? The tall man's message may have been one of release, or one of preparation. He could have come to warn you, to remind you, or to bless your next step. And the beauty is, you don't need to fully understand it yet. You only need to feel it. Trust that whatever remains in his wake is sacred. It was planted within you for a reason. It's like a spiritual seed, waiting for the right moment to bloom. The more you resist it, the heavier it becomes. But the more you surrender and listen, the clearer it grows. So take a moment today, Scorpio. Light a candle. Sit in silence. Ask yourself, what was I left with? Then follow that thread. It knows exactly where it's trying to take you. Scorpio, not all messengers come wrapped in wings and white light. Some arrive disguised as ordinary people, tall men with unreadable eyes, quiet voices, or unsettling stillness. These are not accidents. They are divine messengers clothed in the familiar, testing your soul's ability to see beyond the surface. Ancient texts and mythologies tell of gods, angels, and guides appearing as travelers, strangers, or even beggars at the door. Why? Because truth is not meant to be obvious. It's meant to be recognized by those who can feel beyond what the eye sees. And you, Scorpio, have that gift. You were born with spiritual X-ray vision. You can feel what others overlook. So when a tall man shows up, whether in waking life or in a dream, it's never just about the man. It's about what he carries on behalf of the universe. He may not speak in words, but his energy is encoded with meaning. He could be a soul contract playing out, a karmic visitor, or even a fragment of your higher self made visible. Sometimes, the message isn't what he says, but how you respond. Did you freeze? Did you run? Did you feel calm, seen, protected? Every reaction is part of the message. Scorpio's path is one of transformation through confrontation with the unknown. This visitor might be a threshold guardian here to see, if you're ready to move forward. Or he could be a reminder that you're not as alone as you think. In spiritual terms, physical messengers are sometimes sent when you've ignored your inner ones. The signs, the dreams, the whispers they've been building. And now, the universe sends someone tangible, someone you can't ignore. If you're wondering if that strange moment, that tall man, that dream visitor was real, the answer is yes. He was real in the realm that matters most, the spiritual one. And he didn't come to scare you. He came to confirm that your soul is awakening. The veil is thinning, and the universe is speaking more clearly now than ever before. Are you listening? Scorpio, let's be honest. Sometimes the message arrives, but fear is louder. When the knock came, did your heart race? Did your mind try to rationalize it away? Maybe you told yourself it was just a dream, just a stranger, just coincidence. But deep down, your soul knew. The fear wasn't about the tall man. It was about what he awakened inside you. Fear, especially for someone as intuitive and deep as you, is not weakness. It's a signal. It shows up when something sacred is getting too close to ignore. When the spiritual world touches the physical, it unsettles the ego. And the ego responds with resistance, confusion, anxiety, disbelief. That's normal. But it doesn't mean the message wasn't real. It means you were standing at the edge of transformation, and your old self felt threatened. The truth is, fear is not the enemy, it's the veil. It clouds the message, blurs the vision, makes you question what you already know in your bones. But Scorpio, your power lies in what you do next. Will you push it away? Or will you sit with it, breathe through it, and ask it what it's hiding? Many spiritual messages are disguised behind the things that scare us most. The tall man might not have brought comfort, but he brought awakening. And awakening rarely feels safe at first. So how do you move through this? You reclaim your spiritual authority. You take back the narrative. You say, yes, I was afraid, but I'm still listening. Fear doesn't cancel the message. It sharpens it. It invites you to pause, to decode, to go deeper. Light a candle. Say a prayer. Speak to the fear like an old friend. Ask it, what are you protecting me from? And what am I now ready to see? Because you, Scorpio, are not meant to live behind the veil of fear. You are born to pierce it. And on the other side is a message that was never meant to harm you. It was meant to awaken you. Now that the knock has echoed through your spirit, and the presence of the tall man has stirred something deep within you, what comes next, Scorpio? The universe doesn't just send signs for entertainment. It invites engagement. And you, more than any other sign, were born to respond not with fear, but with sacred action. The first step is stillness. In a world addicted to speed, stillness becomes your power. Sit with what you felt. Don't rush to interpret it. Let the energy settle around you like incense smoke in a quiet room. Create a sacred space, a corner with a candle, a crystal, a journal, anything that feels like sanctuary. This is your energetic doorway, a place where you can meet the message halfway. Then, cleanse. Scorpio holds so much emotional residue, old fears, past betrayals, ancestral burdens. Light incense, take a salt bath, or walk in nature. Clear out the static so you can truly hear. Next, ask for clarity, not from fear, but from openness. Speak aloud. If this message is from the divine, I am open to receive it with grace. Pull a tarot or oracle card. Write down any dreams that followed the experience, or meditate with the question, what am I being asked to remember or release? The tall man may return not literally, but symbolically through signs, synchronicities, or repeating patterns. Stay alert, not paranoid. Trust your intuition. If you feel called to write him a letter, do it. Not to send, but to release. Tell him what you felt, what you fear, what you now understand. This is a ritual of acknowledgement, and Scorpio honors truth through ritual. Finally, take one aligned action. Maybe it's a conversation you've been avoiding, a path you've been afraid to walk, a truth you've been denying. The universe gave you this message because it knows you are ready to act. Remember, the knock was not just to inform you. It was to awaken your role in what comes next. And Scorpio, your power, is not just in receiving signs, it's in transforming them into soul-aligned change. Now comes the most sacred part of all. Scorpio not just hearing the message, but integrating it. This is where soul meets skin, where spirit becomes movement. You can't just carry the energy of the tall man like a secret. You must let it change you. So what shifted after he arrived? Did your perspective on someone evolve? Did your heart whisper a truth you've ignored for too long? Did you finally feel ready to release what's been draining your life force? These are not small moments. They are invitations to embody the awakening. Integration doesn't mean making a grand gesture. It means making aligned choices. It's in the way you walk away from what no longer honors your soul. It's in how you start saying yes to your deeper purpose. Perhaps the message was about trust, or forgiveness, or timing, or something you've been putting off because you feared what it might change. But Scorpio, everything is already changing. That knock was a signal that the inner shift has begun. Now you're being asked to follow through in the physical world. If you've been hiding, it's time to step forward. If you've been waiting, it's time to move. Maybe this means opening your heart to someone again. Maybe it means finally walking away from a cycle that repeats. Or maybe it means starting something that scares you, because your soul knows it's the next chapter. You don't have to rush, but you do have to respond. Integration means listening not once, but over and over until the message becomes part of who you are. Journal your insights. Set new intentions. Adjust your energy. Clear your space. And most of all, trust that even the smallest shift, when made from soul, can ripple across timelines. The tall man did not come to impress you. He came to align you, to help you remember who you are and what you're here to do. The door was knocked for a reason. Now it's your turn to walk through it with courage, with clarity, and with the quiet power only a Scorpio can carry. Scorpio, the knock has been answered. The tall man has come and gone, but the door he touched is no longer closed. You are not the same soul who began this message. You've crossed into a new space within yourself. The truth is, the door was never just physical. It was the threshold of your own transformation, quietly waiting for the moment you would feel ready to pass through. And now, that moment has arrived. What once felt like mystery or fear, now feels like recognition. You're beginning to see that nothing about this encounter was random. It was divinely timed, spiritually coded. It was for you and only you. The universe doesn't waste messages. It speaks to those who are ready to hear. And you heard it. You felt it. You honored it. That alone is an act of spiritual courage. So what's next? Whatever you choose to create with this new awareness. Maybe it's stepping deeper into your purpose, or finally letting go of what was never yours. Maybe it's embracing the version of yourself that you've always kept hidden, because now you know you're safe to shine. This knock wasn't just a beginning, it was also an ending. Of illusions, of fear, of waiting. The spiritual realm reached out to you through form, and you reached back. That connection cannot be undone. It becomes part of your vibration now, an imprint on your soul, reminding you that you are divinely guided, always. So when life gets loud again, when doubt tries to return, remember this. The door is open. You don't need to be invited again. Walk through with your head high, your heart steady, and your spirit alert. Because something sacred is waiting on the other side. And if no one told you this yet, let me be the first, Scorpio. You are ready. You are protected. You are seen. You are not walking alone. The path ahead may be mysterious, but it is blessed. Trust it. Follow it. And never forget, when spirit knocks, it's always because it's time to rise.